Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn about the theory of Xhyn. Ogo then began. The universe is a product of quantum fluctuations throughout infinite space. In these fluctuations, a matter universe and an antimatter universe are created by being drifted apart to remain apart for billions of years until colliding with each other and annihilating. These fluctuations occur throughout infinity, generating several matter and antimatter universes that then annihilate again. These happen in a sea of fluctuations. The matter universe has a positive energy, while the antimatter universe has negative energy. In the same way that 1 minus 1 equals 0, all the matter and antimatter universe throughout infinity adds to nothing, to absolute zero energy. Despite there being several matter and antimatter universes, they all add to nothingness. From nothingness, everything is created. In the sea of quantum fluctuations, waves go up and down. The universe exists in the valleys of these oscillations. In the valleys, there are two small peaks that represent expansion and contraction of a universe. By zooming in closer to the two small peaks, we see them better. The larger peaks are peaks of explosion. The universes are only found in the valleys where the two smaller peaks are located. The bubble universe contains a matter and an antimatter portion that expands and then contracts by following the sides of a dipole. This can be shown with arrows in 2 dimensions. The arrows spin around the circles, and the distance between the tip of the arrows reveals the diameter of the cosmic bubble disk. The cycle repeats over and over again. At the very beginning, matter and antimatter separate, and at the end of a cycle, matter and antimatter collide again. There are 2 peaks in the valleys, since in order to revolve around the dipole, the universe will appear to expand and contract twice. It will expand and then contract to a very thin ring at a stage 5, and then expand again all the way to stage 6, and finally contract past stage 7, colliding in a big crunch. The dipole in 3 dimensions is in the shape of a slinky curling itself inside a sphere. Particles are vibrating strings shaped like a ring. Particles vibrate dark matter, the ether. That is why particles diffract and propagate in space like waves through a medium. The medium in this case is the ether. Everything is made of vibrating rings of energy propagating in space, transferring energy to other rings of energy in the cosmos. The superposition of these waves forms the cosmos. There's an infinite number of parallel universes. The closer parallel universes are more similar to ours. The further parallel universes become more and more difficult the further you go. Traveling back in time is moving to a parallel universe. If you go back to 1965, you will not recognize it. It will not be like the 1965 you learn about. It will look like the year 1965 in a parallel universe. In this reality regarding fame and alternate histories, there is an infinite number of histories, and none of them are exactly alike. There is an infinite number of paths in history, both past, present, and future. Everything in the universe is made of dark matter. Visible matter is compressed dark matter, and empty space is stretched dark matter. Dark matter is made of strings. When the strings are compressed, waves form, giving birth to visible matter. When the strings are stretched, no waves form, and dark matter becomes invisible. The donut is curved dark matter, and the cosmic bubble is the location of all we see around us. The curved dark matter is the result of a gravitational dipole that pushes the bubble in an endless path around and around again. This theory solves the problem of the universe coming from nothing, and instead states that there has always been a bubble following the curved path of a donut, without true beginning and with no true end. Dark matter is made of Higgs bosons. That is the ether. Light needs Higgs bosons to propagate. Although light has no mass, it follows the curved path of space-time because it propagates through space using the ether, which are Higgs bosons. Higgs bosons also give mass to particles in compressed regions of dark matter that becomes the visible and detected matter and energy that we know. If light were to not require a medium to propagate, it would never follow the curved paths of space and time, but would go straight instead. But that does not happen, so it does need a medium to flow. Space is not empty, but is filled with Higgs bosons that curve space-time Light travels faster in empty space where dark matter is stretched instead of compressed. On the top half of the donut, dark energy causes matter and antimatter to expand, and in the bottom half, dark energy causes the antimatter and matter to attract. This is called a gravitational dipole. As the cosmic bubble expands and contracts along the sides of a donut, it changes shape. At singularity, no hole is present. A hole in the middle grows with the growing disk. Back to the singularity, the hole disappears. The four forces of nature: gravity caused by the pull of the strings of dark matter, electromagnetic, weak and strong propagation of light waves in the dark matter medium. All matter waves, all matter is energy, all energy is light, all light are waves in the dark matter medium. Everything is made of light since everything is energy. When a particle of any matter travels through space, it uses the dark matter of the region it is traveling through as part of the composition. Example is shown below. Here is empty space with Higgs boson equally separated from each other. Here now is a particle traveling through that region of space towards the right. Notice the dark matter is used by the particle as its composition. The particle literally goes right through the dark matter, and that is why it is so hard for dark matter to be detected. Like I said before, the four forces of nature, gravity, electromagnetic, weak and strong, are all propagation of light waves in the dark matter medium, which can bend and curve and so forth. Waves are everywhere. The strings get compressed in the presence of a particle, forming a loop on the particle's location. In empty space, the dark matter ether grid containing the Higgs boson spheres has its strings stretched. In the space containing matter, the Higgs bosons are compressed close together, leading to waves in a dark matter spring. The more compressed a region of space is with Higgs boson clustered in one place, the greater is the gravitational pull. Space is made of the ether, which is composed of the Higgs boson spheres connected to each other by strings of electric and magnetic field. Between each of the two Higgs bosons, there are two loops of strings. One is electric and the other magnetic. The pulling of strings generates gravity. In regions of space where there are a lot of mass, the Higgs bosons are closer together, almost touching. This causes a more pulling of strings and thus more gravity. When the Higgs bosons do touch each other, the distance between their center is the Planck's length, and space is the densest. When the Higgs bosons are closer together, the strings have a higher amplitude. A single photon is made of two Higgs bosons connected to each other by an electric and magnetic string at the fundamental level. Here we have a single photon. All matter is made of energy, and all energy is a form of light. Everything is made of photons. All particles are clumps of photons, clumps of energy. When photons propagate in space, they lead to the electromagnetic, weak, and strong forces of nature. Throughout space, the electromagnetic fields alternate in oscillations, and the pulling of those strings leads to gravity. Thus, we have the four forces of nature. The spin of particles leads to their charges. All four forces of nature are unified in the ether medium throughout space. Photons are massless because they are part of space itself, and strings stretch but do not pull. Many other particles have mass, but pulling strings leading to gravity. The five elements that make up the universe according to Plato are land, water, air, fire, and the ether. All the universe is made of energy. All matter is energy. All energy are waves oscillating the strings that make up the dark matter. Gravity is caused by matter pulling the strings in the dark matter ether, leading to it being attracted to other matter. Charges are caused by the amount of rotation of a particle in dark matter. This rotation generates a rotating fluid of light in space, leading to positive and negative charges. The direction of the spin with respect to a magnetic field generates a charge plus or a negative charge. The spin has nothing to do with the spin in quantum mechanics, which is an abstract representation instead. Empty space is made of stretched strings. Space containing matter is made of string with waves in it. The balls at the end of the strings are the Higgs bosons. When they approach each other, gathering, they form a wave in the string between them, leading to matter. When the Higgs bosons move away from each other, no waves are formed, and that is empty space. This cosmos is not only comprehensible, but also predictable within a quantum sea of probability, waves, and fluctuations. The bottom graph shows the speed of the moving arrows leading to expansion and contraction of a universe. Near the beginning, the velocity of expansion is extremely large, leading to the inflation theory, and near the end, the velocity of contraction is also large. The graphs do not peak out to infinity because the smallest size of a universe cannot be smaller than the Planck's length. The graph peaks and then stops at the corners. In between the Big Bang and the Big Crunch, the graphs become close to a flat line, which means that the velocity of expansion and contraction from moving arrows becomes stable and roughly the same. This is a quick summary of the theory Xhyn about the donut-shaped universe. Thanks for watching.